I'm basically trying to solve the question of what kind of new jobs will be created over the next decade and what scale of investment is likely to be made by companies that are undergoing this shift to software-defined infrastructure. We're already seeing a large amount of jobs being created in data analytics with companies like many of those that are involved with the Internet of Things, developing teams to do data analysis, and also with legacy companies like GM, Ford, or Boeing using data analytics to evaluate their supply chains. I think one of the things that's a real challenge here is that the labor force, at least as I see it, is shifting very dramatically, so that there is a real challenge of creating people who have the skills to get them into these jobs, that there are forecasts that we're likely to fall short. I think a lot of the changes will occur because of pressures in the marketplace. I mean, I'm hearing companies like GM saying we need to function like Facebook, Amazon, or Netflix in the future. So there's a perception that companies that are now fairly established won't survive unless they change over very, very dramatically. I think from what I see that there's going to be a tremendous amount of new investment to basically transform the way our industrial base functions, and that many of the new jobs will be more service-oriented, but I think we may also see the rise of new types of manufacturing jobs that are related to these analytic capabilities.
Can you give an example of the kinds of new manufacturing jobs you're talking about?
I think that we may see things like 3D manufacturing, where instead of sourcing parts or components for a new plane or a new car overseas, that some of that work will take place in the US. The design will be sent over the internet as a file. It will be printed on a 3D machine. It will be tested, and then it will be sent to whoever needs it.
Are there any obstacles toward realizing these ideas?
I think there are a lot of obstacles. I mean, in the healthcare area, when I've talked to healthcare providers about shifting over to kind of a genome-driven healthcare, personalized healthcare orientation, there are a series of legal issues in terms of who's liable if someone's genome information is lost or hacked. And all of these things need to be resolved before we really see a flourishing of these new jobs. To summarize, I just think there's a real transformation in the economy going on that is not really appreciated very well, and that much of it is based on becoming more software-defined or software-based. And I think that that's going to result in a lot of new investment. I've been estimating what that might be, and I think that over the next decade we might see something like $1 trillion of new investment in these areas of software development and data analytics, and that would have a very large impact on the economy, both in terms of new jobs, productivity, and competitiveness.